morning! Welcome back to my YouTube channel and another week of my marathon training. If you're new here, my name is Marissa. I'm currently training for the Richmond, Virginia Marathon, which is actually coming up in almost 4 weeks here, coming Saturday, which is insane. It's so fast. I'm shooting for a Boston qualifying time, so fingers crossed, hopefully it works out. But if not, we're just here to have fun, making the second marathon training a little bit more enjoyable. On my channel, I show you my weekly training, how I do things, and give you some tips and tricks that have helped me along the way. If you've already been following along, you know I've been MIA for the last 10 days. My husband and I just actually got back from a trip to France this past Sunday, and we had such an amazing time. I did think about filming for you guys, but I just really wanted to live in the moment and have that trip for myself, and I'm really glad I did. We spent 3 days in Paris, which was absolutely stunning, probably one of the most gorgeous cities I've ever stepped foot in. After that, we went to Lake Annecy, which is in the French Alps, which is absolutely stunning. It was this gorgeous little picturesque fairy tale town right next to a lake, surrounded by amazing mountains. It was so picturesque and beautiful. After that, we spent a day in Lyon, which is another big city in France and known for its food, and I can definitely say that the food we had there was incredible. Following Lyon, we spent a day in Reims. We did a champagne tour at Veuve Clicquot, which was so cool. Not only getting to see the wine cellars and the tunnels, but also learning about the history of the champagne and how it came to be. And then we capped off our vacation in Strasbourg for 2 days, which is a very German-inspired city in the Alsatian region. Gorgeous canals and paths and an insane Cathedral of Notre Dame. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. We learned a lot. It was exhausting, to say the least, with all the traveling around we did even while we were there, but it was 100% worth it. I'm glad I got to experience everything I did, and I just feel so grateful and lucky to have been able to do that. But now it is back to reality. It is actually Tuesday. We flew back in Sunday night, so yesterday was a little bit hectic, getting all of our stuff unpacked, getting food prepared for the week, grocery shopping, on top of also working, which was stupid. We probably should have just taken an extra day off to relax, but we jumped right back into it. I did decide to take my rest day for the week yesterday just because it was so crazy, and I did want to prioritize sleeping and just kind of getting back into the routine of things. So today I'm just starting off with work. Normally I like to get my runs in during the morning because that's typically when I have the most amount of energy, but again, kind of wanted to prioritize sleep this morning. And it's also pretty ugly out this morning. It's been raining all morning, very windy here, but the weather's supposed to be a lot nicer come later afternoon. So I figured I'd kind of relax this morning, sleep in, and then after work we'll get a run in. But something else I wanted to touch on in this video this week is how I balance everything between work, general life stuff like the vacation I just took, and marathon training, because it can definitely get to be a lot. If you've never ran a marathon before, I'm sure you've heard people talk about how marathon training pretty much takes over your entire life, which is somewhat true, but there are ways to kind of balance things and still get to enjoy your life while you're training for a marathon. But for now, I'm gonna get to work and then we'll go for a run later. Alrighty guys, I'm pleasantly surprised by the weather this afternoon because it was looking pretty gloomy up until literally 20 minutes ago, and the clouds finally broke. We have a little bit of sunshine, so I'm actually very glad that I waited until the afternoon to do my run. I'm a little tired, but overall I feel pretty good and energized by this weather. It's nice and cool, perfect fall temperatures. So I'm doing 8 miles this afternoon, just keeping it nice and easy, just since this is my first run back in the States since my vacation. So we'll see how I feel on this run, hopefully good. I am testing out some new trainers. I just bought myself the Adidas Adizero Evo SLs. I've heard a lot of really good things about these. I've never tried them personally, so I'm excited to give them a go. Up until now, I've been running in my Asics Superblast, which are coming to the end of their life. Unfortunately, I will be getting myself another pair after the marathon. I am going to try and stretch them out and just use them for kind of my longer runs now. But I realized I was not going to be able to make it to the very end of my training, so I had to go and pick myself up a new pair of daily trainers. So again, I'm really excited to try these out. Let's get after it.
Alrighty, run is done. Overall, I felt okay. Cardiovascular wise, I actually felt pretty strong. Um, my legs, though, were feeling really, really heavy, really sluggish. My hip is bothering me a little bit. And overall, just the legs feeling really, really tired. I think it's, a combination of still recovering, obviously, from the trip and still experiencing some jet lag. I actually woke up last night wide awake at 3 a.m. and didn't go back to bed. But overall, for doing a run in the afternoon, I'm pretty proud of myself just because I don't really do a lot of afternoon runs just because I don't have a lot of energy in general. And so, so I felt like my time was pretty good. Like I said, my cardiovascular and my overall energy felt strong. It was just my legs that are feeling really, really weak right now, but I am going to go roll out, stretch, and then make some dinner.
Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. So normally Wednesdays I do a little track workout or some sort of speed session, but today I do have an early work meeting, so I'm just switching around my runs for the week, and I'm just going to do another easy run. Just going to do 5 miles, probably take it a little bit slower even than yesterday too, which is probably for the better anyway, because yesterday's run I actually felt so much soreness in my legs. Again, I think I'm just kind of adjusting to being back home and after the long travel, doing a lot of walking on that trip. I think my legs are just a little extra tired, so I think they could just use an extra easy day, and then we'll hit the workout tomorrow. Let's get after it.
Good morning. We are here at the track today. I'm doing a workout. I'm getting in 3 by 2 mile repeats. Very nervous. This is my first workout since before my vacation in France. So hopefully I can do it, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get into it. All right, workout is done. I actually felt very strong this morning, which I'm super surprised about. I definitely expected to feel pretty weak coming into this workout just since I haven't done a workout in, 2 weeks since before my vacation. So I really wasn't expecting a ton out of myself. I went in with a little bit of a time goal, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with whatever pace feels difficult but manageable. And I actually was able to really surprise myself. So I did a 1 mile warm up and then 3 by 2 mile repeats. For the 2 miles, I was able to hold right around a 7:15 pace for all 3 of them. And then in between, I did a 3-minute recovery jog, which was averaging around an 8:30. So overall, I'm really happy. It was a tough workout, but it was solid. And it was one of those workouts where I felt like I could have pushed myself a little bit more, could have given a little bit more in terms of pace, and probably could have done a whole extra rep. So I think overall that's a pretty good sign that I still had more left in the tank. But so now I'm just going to do my cool down, just another mile, and then head home for some breakfast. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. It is chilly this morning. It's 42 degrees. As you can see, I'm wearing a vest, it's the first time I've worn this since probably last winter. But I love this weather. It feels so fall. The leaves are all changing. It looks beautiful, especially in this early blue light. It just makes some of the leaves on the trees pop so much more. So I absolutely love it. So I'm very excited. I'm just doing a 6-mile run this morning, taking it nice and easy. The legs actually feel a lot better than I expected them to after yesterday's workout, so really happy about that. So looking forward to enjoying a nice chill run around my neighborhood. Let's get after it. run is done. Felt really great. It's beautiful out this morning. I love fall so much. Alrighty guys, I'm out here. It's about 6:30, running 20 miles. Let's get after it. It's very cold. Alrighty, 20 miles is done. Felt super strong today. Weather was very chilly at the beginning, but it actually felt super good by the middle of it, so really happy about that. And my husband biked with me the entire time, and I'm so grateful for him because it just makes all the difference when you have a little bit of company and you don't have to do it completely on your own. So he is the real MVP of this run. Now time to go home and relax.
Good morning guys, happy Sunday. So today we are just doing a easy shakeout run. So I'm going for 6 miles today. I did go to the gym this morning as well. I didn't do a ton of legs just because my legs were feeling pretty sore this morning after the 20 miler yesterday. So just took it very light at the gym, did some very light squats and light deadlifts, and then focused mainly on upper body. But I still wanted to hit the gym just because it's been almost 3 weeks since I've last been to the gym, which is honestly the biggest break that I've had since the beginning of this year from the gym. So I really knew I needed to get it in and it felt really good to go again. So I'm really happy I did it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go for my run. It's about 10 o'clock now. Sundays I like to go for my run right after I get back from the gym, but recently I've been noticing that I've been feeling super fatigued on my runs when I do that. I think it's just because, you know, I wake up early for the gym and then lift heavy for an hour and then having to go run for another hour on top of that. I just realized I need a little break in between. So just took a little bit of time to rest after the gym, had some breakfast, went grocery shopping, and now I'm feeling a little bit more energized again. Weather is beautiful right now. It's like 60s, a little breezy, sunny. So I'm excited to get out there and just do a couple easy miles. Let's go. Alrighty guys, I'm back from my run. I'm gonna be honest, it was not the best run ever. I felt pretty exhausted the entire time, but I feel like I feel that way most Sundays after a long run. You know, I definitely feel a lot better like soreness wise when I do go for those shakeout runs, because I do think it helps get the blood flowing, loosens up my muscles a little bit. Overall, I generally feel like a full body fatigue, especially after coming back from that run. So I am pretty exhausted right now, but happy I got it in. My legs do feel a little bit better. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about how I personally stay consistent, because I think that's like a huge thing with marathon training, right? It's such a long haul. It's such a big undertaking that it's sometimes really hard to stay consistent, especially when life gets in the way. One of the things I think really helps is having a why. So like, why are you running? Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? I think that really has helped me, this training block, stay really consistent in my routine and my running. So for me personally, like, I love the way running makes me feel inside and out, which has helped me stay pretty consistent as a runner throughout my life. Like, even when I take like little breaks from it, I always gravitate back towards it because I just love the way that it makes me feel. Also, something very specific to this training block is that, you know, this training has really helped me get through a really difficult time with searching for a job, being unemployed for 8 months, going through a big career change, and also helped me deal with some of the negativity that came from my past jobs and helped me mentally kind of work through those feelings. So I really do think that it's really important to have a why. I do think it helps you stay more consistent because unfortunately, while I'd love to feel motivated every single day to go out there and run, I definitely don't. Like today was a perfect example. I really did not feel like running today. My legs were sore. I was tired. I just didn't want to do it. But I am glad that I did it. My legs do feel a lot better for it, and mentally I feel a lot better. So I think having that why and that reasoning for why you're doing this in the first place will help you on those hard days get out the door and actually go for that run. Something else that really helps me stay consistent with my running routine is just honestly looking at the number of hours that we have during the day. We have 24 hours a day to do what we want with. And obviously a lot of life happens during those 24 hours. Like if you work or if you take care of kids or you have to walk your dog or you have to go to a birthday party or you're traveling, a lot of stuff can get in the way of the running routine. But if you tell yourself that you have 24 hours in a day, there's no way life is taking up all 24 hours. When I'm having a hard day and things get really busy, I just tell myself, hey, there's really no excuse for me not to fit in 1 hour of my day dedicated to running. So I think that's something that really helps me is actually planning out my day, kind of looking at all of the things that I know I have to get done that day or have to do and prioritizing certain things and then planning my runs around that schedule. So you may just have to get up an hour earlier than you normally do to fit in your run, or stay up an hour later, or do a run on a lunch break. I feel like it's really easy to make excuses for life getting in the way, but the reality is that you can always find some time. Something else that helps me stay consistent with my running routine is just knowing myself personally. I know that I am a morning person. I am more energized and typically more motivated to work out in the morning than I am by the end of the day. By 6 p.m., I'm exhausted. All I want to do is lay on the couch. You are not getting me to go for a run after 6 p.m. It just really is not happening. So for me, I just know that I have to run in the mornings. So I will look at my schedule in the morning. So especially with work, if I have like a meeting first thing at 9 a.m. that I have to be on camera for, showered, makeup, dressed, ready to go, I know I have to do that run a lot earlier. So I may have to wake up an hour earlier, or I have to switch around my runs to make sure that day I'll do a shorter run in the morning before that 9 a.m. call. And then I'll prioritize my longer workout on a day I don't have a 9 a.m. call where I don't have to be completely ready by 9 a.m. And that's actually something I did this week. I realized I had a 9 a.m. call on a day I normally do a workout, and that workout was 9 miles. I knew that either one, I was going to be running that workout in the dark the entire time, or two, I could do it on a day where I didn't have a 9 a.m. call, do part of the workout when the sun was up. And so I just switched around my runs and stayed consistent. And lastly, one more thing that helps me stay consistent is just knowing that motivation is fleeting. Some days you feel really, really motivated to get out the door, but most of the times you're not going to feel motivated. Most of the times it's going to be really hard. And I think going into marathon training with that mindset helps as well. Just knowing that not every day is going to feel like a fairy tale and feel like you're living your dream and hitting all of your goals, because really that's just not reality with anything in life, right? But I think that's part of the fun of training, honestly. It's like the moments where things get really hard and you overcome them, or the runs that you're dreading and you really don't want to do, but then you go out and do that run and come back and feel amazing, like you crushed it, or wow, I'm just really, really proud of myself for doing that. I think it really does build a lot of mental strength. So that's kind of like how I've stayed consistent in my running journey. Ultimately, I think it comes down to what you really want out of marathon training. If you're really passionate about it, if you really want it, I think there's nothing that could stop you from being consistent. Life is just all about priorities and choices. So if you prioritize it, I think it makes consistency a lot easier. But I hope it helped to learn a little bit about how I personally stayed consistent over these last couple months of training. Cannot believe that we are in the final month of training before my marathon. It's wild to think that I am 4 weeks out now. I am very, very excited and also very, very nervous. I have one more big week ahead, which will technically be my peak week. And then after that, I'll be tapering, which is so wild. I'm really proud of myself for the work I've done and for everything I've achieved thus far. And now, even though it's very hard, I think I just need to kind of trust my training at this point, and we'll see what happens come race day in 4 weeks. But I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.